Hey guys, welcome back to Sword of Convallaria. With the lead up to the launch, I wanted to talk about whether it is worth re-rolling in this game. Now, I will have a re-roll guide and who to re-roll for coming out closer to launch, but I wanted to talk on the topic because a lot of people, some people love re-rolling, and let's face it, if you're like me and you're a degenerate who just loves re-rolling in games, I just personally find it fun, then it's a good game to re-roll in. If you absolutely hate it, well, you're probably not going to do it anyway, but this video is for those people in between who sometimes re-roll, sometimes don't, depending on how hard it is and whether it's worth it. So I want to go through some of the things that will affect your decision so that you guys can make your decision. Now, the reroll process, I re-rolled about 8 times on the Taiwanese version. Off memory, it was about 10 minutes. Once I do the actual full guide, I'll nail it down, but it wasn't one of those really invasive re-rolls that makes you feel like absolutely butchered for doing it. The problem was on the Taiwanese version, there is no guest login, so we'll have to wait and see how that happens on global. Now, the next thing to talk about is going to be the two main things are going to be one, the summon and the rates, which we'll talk about because that can often help you with your decision on whether you're like, okay, maybe I reroll to get something good because I might not get anything else. And then also the competitive aspects of the game for why you might want to reroll to get more rewards. Okay, so now I want to talk about summons. Now I'm going to talk about it in a very broad aspect because I spent 3 hours in the Discord trying to talk with people to find the exact answer. No one really knows. The translations are kind of iffy. They released English versions of the pity system, but the pity system feels like you need a 4-year degree to understand, and I can't get straight answers. If I get straight answers from the devs exactly how it works, then I will make a video going through it exactly, but it's a bit convoluted in the way it works. But first of all, I'm not going to talk about weapon banners. We have 3 general banners. There will be a beginner banner with the 30 pity, but besides that, we have 3 main types of banners. We have first appearance banners like this one. We have these ones which are returning characters, which are called destined banners, where you get 2 characters in one. And then we have the standard banner, which is the standard characters, standard rates. So this one up here basically has, and all banners, essentially as you summon across any banner, they're all going to count to this 100 guarantee. So you're never going to go between any banners you summon on. It doesn't matter which ones you're summoning on. There is like an innate 100 pity that will count down. So if you go 99 summons without getting an SSR anywhere in your summons, not including weapons, then once you hit that 100th, you are guaranteed to get an SSR on the banner that you are summoning on. So that is one thing. But then they also have individual pities on each banner of 180 to hit that rate up character. Being that if you go to that 100 pity and don't hit the rate up character, then that 180 pity will continue on so that you can get it. It's very convoluted, but the base pity is 100, but we have like guarantee pities to hit rate up characters at 180. Now, we also have a 2% drop rate on those SSRs, and as you can see, with the first appearance character, where it's only 1 character on the banner, when you land that 2% chance, you've then got a 50% chance for it to be the rate up character. So that is a 1% chance at being the rate up character. On these ones, when you land that 2% chance, you have a 75% chance for it to be one of these 2 characters. So essentially what we are looking at is a 100 base pity, a 180 guarantee for the rate up character, and then we have on top of that the fact that these, that's the other thing. These banners, so the banners with 2 characters, which are the destined banners, will carry over to, the pity will carry over to the next destined banner. For instance, if we look at this one and we look at my pity here, I'm at 167. If I look at this one here and I go to this one, I am at 167. These 2 share, and any new destined banners will continue on that pity. And then these ones here, you can see this one is at 119. These banners have their own pity that, once again, it will carry on to the next first appearance banner and stuff like that. So that is the basics. Now, there is some other convoluted ways in which, like, the English translations over here say that, like, if you get... It says like you need to get both of the characters on the rate up before it will reset the pity. However, I started a fresh account, did 110 pull, got one of the characters, and it reset the banner. So I don't know. The wording on this stuff is crazy, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, the basics are 2% rates, which is actually quite decent compared to a lot of other games at like 0.6, 0.8%. And then 100 pity or 180 pity to guarantee the rate up character. That is my current understanding. that hopefully will help you make a decision on those rates to do with rerolling and whether you want to reroll. Like I said, if I get more concrete information exactly how the mechanics of these pity systems work, I will let you know. But like I said, it is so convoluted, weird translations, and just systems that don't seem to be testing the way they're written. But that is it. So like I said, for me, I think it would suck to go into an account, not get anything, and then go all the way to 100, get an off banner, and then wait till another 80 summons to get that rate up character that I wanted. So that is something definitely to consider if you're on the fence about rerolling. If you maybe just don't reroll and then you don't get any characters after like a day's play of grinding it up like 50, 60, 70 summons, then maybe you want to run a fresh account. But that is just something to consider. That is how the rates go. So far, my account has been pretty lucky up until this point. Early on, I was getting like an SSR every 20, 30 pulls. Now I've gone a stretch of about 60 or 70 pulls without getting any. So, that is the kind of rates we are dealing with. But the other thing we have to look at is reasons to play meta and reroll and get a bunch of good characters to compete. Now, if we go over here into Arena is actually pretty nice in that the ranking rewards are quite low in general. If you get in the top leagues, you're getting 300. If you get in the second league, 250, 200, 150, 100. I'd assume even like people playing casually should be getting into like the green league or something like that after you've played for a little bit. And the difference between 150 and 300 is only one summon, which is something, but it's not massive in my opinion. So that is the arena rewards. Now, as for the tower rewards, so if we go over here and we go into the hard tower, so we've got a basic tower. If it loads, there we go. So we've got the basic tower, and then eventually you will unlock the hard mode tower. Now, this one is a bit different. So this one, as you can see, I've got this tower. I haven't progressed far enough to see the actual ranking rewards for it, but massive, massive shout out goes to Celion over in the community. Absolute legend. I've been chatting on Discord. If I go over here, shared this picture. So Celion, massive shout out. I'll leave a link to the Twitter, putting some really good guides and stuff out. So if you want more information on the game, I highly recommend this person. English is not their native tongue, so I think they are working on a YouTube channel, but going to be subtitled and stuff like that. So massive shout out. Really, really respect this person. Took the time out of the day to help me with a bunch of my understanding. So please go show some support, follow them on Twitter, and give them some love. But send me a screenshot of their ranking rewards. And as you can see, once we get into this hard mode tower, we get the bi-weekly rewards of 1500, 1000, 800, 500. And you can see this is for top 5 players. That's Giga Whale territory. Top 100, still whale territory. But for free to play, I think if you optimize and you get a really strong account, you might be looking at top 90 at 95%, which is 800 diamonds. Otherwise, you're looking at 90%, which is 500, then 400, 300. So this gap between the 95 and the 90 is what I'm playing between. And so getting that extra 800 bi-weekly, that's an extra 600 a month. It's, once again, it's not massive, but it's enough for me between that and trying to compete in arena for me to want to like push a little bit further. But, this is the one that's going to have the main gap, because the difference between any two gaps in arena is only 50, whereas this one is a 300 on a bi-weekly basis, 600 per month. So that is going to be the other thing on whether you want to push meta to try and keep up with the competitiveness of the tower pushing, the arena and stuff like that. Overall in this game, I think it's a pretty good casual game in that they don't overly punish you for playing casually and stuff like that. And the leaderboards are more the flex value as opposed to giving you a ridiculous amount of summon currency and just basically different currencies in the game to make you completely overpowered. I do like the way they balanced it out. I think it's quite reasonable. So once again, if you like rerolling, there is incentive to reroll for those extra rewards to try and be a bit more competitive. But if you don't like rerolling, it doesn't feel overly punishing in my opinion. So me personally, I like rerolling. I'm obviously going to reroll. I'll probably reroll for a day, see how I go, hopefully get a good account and then start cooking. But if you want to just jump in and start playing, you should be pretty good. Hey, if you get through your first day of play and you pump all those day one summons that you get along the way and you get absolutely nothing, we'll just start a fresh account on the next day if it's really triggering you and you can just go again. It's not the end of the world. But that is my thoughts on the rerolling. Once again, I will have who to reroll for and the reroll guide coming out very shortly. But that is hopefully going to allow you to make your decision on whether you actually want to, because hey, I'm a sweaty reroller and I know everyone wants to know whether it's worth it. So there you go. As always, thanks for watching. I hope you have an awesome day and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.